somebody new, but I'm still looking at you the way you used to be. But touch your neighbor and say, I'm not what I used to be. Wholeness means that you'll be continually blessed, continually have breakthroughs, continuously have healings. You need to be able to see the salvation of God. You need to be able to know that He's near. You need to be able to understand that His presence is important. Somebody just say, I see. It has no bearing on your future outcome. Because the truth really be told, about 4 months ago, you were in a condition then, and God brought you out. Some of y'all about 3 weeks ago, y'all were in a condition, but God brought you out. Some of y'all were in a condition last night, but God brought you out. Do I have a witness in here? Your present condition has no bearing on your future outcome. Of the day, these women could not speak before the Sanhedrin court in defense of Jesus. They could not lodge an appeal before Pilate, and they couldn't overthrow the Roman guards. But they did what they could do for Jesus. That's what we need in the church today. We need some people that don't mind doing what you can do. Do I have a witness in here? You may not be able to sing with voices of angels, and you may not be able to preach like Paul, but if you can do something, touch your neighbor and say, I can do something. We need people in the church that can do a little something, something. I don't know what your talent is. I don't know what the Lord laid upon you, but everybody in the kingdom has something that God has dropped in your spirit to do in the kingdom of God. Do I have a witness in this house? It's not the faithful who I want to focus on today. It's not the faithful that I want to talk about on today. But I want to talk about Peter. The disciple who was radical. So radical that he would challenge Jesus to allow him to walk on water. Y'all ain't gonna talk back to me. This was the same Peter who declared that Jesus was the Son of the living God. This was the same Peter who came enraged when they came to arrest Jesus, and he took out his sword and he cut off the ear of one of the soldiers. This was a radical Peter. Peter was radical. Touch your neighbor and say, he was radical. And yet, out of fear, Peter denied Jesus not just once, but the Bible declared he denied him 3 times before the cock even opened his mouth. Are y'all with me? To such a degree that he had to resort to using to cussing and swearing. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. You can read it on your own. He became so upset that he had to cuss and swear when they tried to point him out as one of Jesus' men. And I believe that there's some Peters in this room. There's some radical people in this room. There are some people in this room that still cuss and fuss. There are some Peters in this room. Some Peters that were out of one mouth will declare that Jesus is the Son of the living God. But let somebody make you mad. There are some Peters in this room. Say one thing on Sunday and another thing on Monday. Secretly curse and secretly talk about people and secretly stir up mess and secretly walk away while other people are yet upset. There are some Peters in this room. What stands out in this text is that the angelic specifically tells the women to go and tell my disciples and Peter. And Mark is the only gospel to mention this unique statement. Mark is part of the synoptics, and we know that synoptics means seeing with one eye. But in this case, Mark was the only one that records the statement, and Peter. Why was Peter singled out? Why did Mark make this notation in his writings? Why did he hear the angel say to the women, go and tell the disciples, and Peter was one of the disciples? Why single Peter out? In this particular instance, he wasn't singled out in any other time. Why was he singled out? I would hasten to let you know that it wasn't that he was singled out because of his prominence among the disciples, not because he declared that Jesus was the Son of the living God. I don't believe that he was singled out because of that. That could have been helpful, but I just don't believe that he was singled out because of that, but rather because he was forgiven for his acts against Jesus. I believe that they singled him out because he felt bad because he had denied Jesus. Is there anybody in here that just feels bad about something? I don't know what it is. Now, here's what I want you to know. I don't care what you used to be. I'm just thankful for what God is doing in your life now. Somebody sitting next to you may not see the change. They may not understand what's going on deep on the inside. But there is a change taking place in your life, Peter. There's a change taking place in your life. You did me wrong, but Jesus doesn't see the outside. He sees your heart. Is there anybody in this room that has a heart for God this morning? You have a heart to seek after God. Despite all of your circumstances, despite all of your problems, despite all of the stuff that you've done, you have a heart for God. And if he can do that for Peter, he can do it for you. Everybody stand together.